please click the like button and subscribe because we are trying to get our people back to the kingdom.
Preaching the gospel and I hope they transform through all the hard times and all the sandstorms. I gotta let them know that God got a plan for them. Dance for them, praise His name, throw up your hands to Him. Stand double, let it go, make a stand for Him. Cause He coming soon, I'm trying to advance to Him. You better come to a field where this rap's doing. Ooh, I'm just doing God's work. Holy Bible in my hand, but we about to have church. Yeah, casting out these demons, what we gotta do first. Holy Spirit, help me. Yeah, time to go to work. What I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. Doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. Doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. I'm just doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. I'm just doing God's work. Too often we try to take things in our own hands. Saying it was us who did it, but it was God's plan. Gotta understand, it's God who gave permission. And it's Jesus speaking through us for people's deliverance. I know you wanna help, but first get yourself together. Focus on issue at hand, then make another better. You want people to see what you know and that you got a heart. Well, let your accent speak and then they wanna hear you talk. Oh yeah, I feel good, I know where I come from. Straight from New Orleans, if you want it, come get your song. I know you see the change, the blessings of the Lord, show it. And it raining down on me, that's what my spirit's flowing. And I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. Doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. I'm just doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. I'm just doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. I'm just doing God's work. They hear me what I'm doing, I just tell them I'm just doing God's work. And Nick the ruler. Cause when my life was bound in chains, you set me free. I'm making a way for me. He made a way for me. So first I did away with all my cool intentions, my evil ways, and a lot of things I must mention. On my knees, repenting, crying my tears dripping from the acknowledgement of my sins and my wrongdoing. I'm ready for my task, like the Lord, He set me free. No more thugging, no more hustling, no more token on that green, no more sex until I'm married for the talent too weak. But my willpower strong, it's so far from being weak. Yeah, my head is on straight, I ain't falling for the streets. And as long as the Lord is on my side, I could never be defeated. So I tell the devil, leave me alone now. If you think he gon' manipulate my mind, he got the wrong guy. Think I'm gon' get caught up in his tracks, we can gon' try. Never fall victim again, not by a long shot. See, victory is for sure for me. I resist temptation, living for Christ is my priority. Obeying His commandments, walking righteous, showing loyalty. And I'm asking for forgiveness as I speak if there's a flaw in me. And I know there's flaws in me, so I'm asking for forgiveness as I speak for all the flaws in me. Bound in chains, you set me free. You set me free.
Father God, we ask for your forgiveness for anything we've done. We ask that you continue to lead and guide us, Father. We thank you for everything that you're doing, everything that you're revealing now during this time, Father. We ask you to open up the eyes and ears of all those that watch this video, Father. We ask this in the name of your Son, Yeshua. Hallelujah.
I'm standing firm, no movement. And if he try to knock me down, Jesus send the truth in. I came up rough and ruthless. Thank the Lord, He broke the chains. And if He did it for me, He can do it once again. Down in You set me free. You set me free. Making a way for me. You made a way for me. But first I did one. All of my cool intentions, my evil ways, and the nine things I must mention. On my knees, repenting and praying, my tears dripping from the exhaustion of my sins and my wrongness. Found in chains. You set me free.
Shalom, shalom, family, and welcome back. We're going to finish up this lesson on understanding the 7 declarations of truth. And I know you're saying, I thought we did finish. We mainly covered and focused on the things to the eyes of the wicked. But we're going to capture all 7 vials based on righteousness and what we should be thinking now as we think about these 7 vials or 7 declarations of truth or 7 bowls, whichever you know them as. Because remember, when John wrote these things, he wrote them through the eyes of the wicked. And that's in the book of Melchizedek, the little book, chapter 3, verse 9 to 11. And let me read that. It says, and these are the declarations which I have made. And my servant John saw and heard them, but was not allowed to write that which the voices of the 7 thunders proclaimed. And he was restrained in order to protect the knowledge of these things. And he wrote only the effects the declarations had as seen through the eyes of evil and the wicked. Verse 10, and now I have declared them, and it is too late for the wicked to come against them to prevent the knowledge of the truth which they carry. And that's what we're going to take a look at, the knowledge of the truth that these 7 vows or 7 declarations carry. Verse 11, and these are the declarations I have made, starting with the first, which was about the time I and my band fought to prevail to call forth the Yom, and the records of the book of remembrance. And these voices of the thunders are simple. Did you hear that? And these voices of the thunders are simple, and they shall penetrate into all the temporal world. So these things are going to be coming out from the spiritual world into our world, into the temporal world, with a lasting and ever expanding effect. This is going to be short, family. We're going to be here less than 30 minutes. Watch. But pay attention to the information, because this is all good information for us. Now, where I'm coming from, because this information is mixed inside of the little book, chapter 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to the back of the book of remembrance of Melchizedek. And the information that I'm bringing out that gives us the information for the truth is located on page 576. And then I will bounce back to the little book to chapter 3 for the declaration, or should I say the unsealed information. Starting at the first declaration. My first declaration of the truth is that the covenant between righteous mankind and the Ekadoshi of creation has once again come into effect upon the earth. So do you hear? This is between us and the righteous angels, the Ekadoshi. Now, for the little book, chapter 3, verse 23, it says, this declaration by Matzah, which is Christ, unsealed the truth that nations and leaders and nations cannot be trusted to provide security and prosperity to their people. And these 2 needs of the people can only come when the loving kindness of our Father Anokoseed is the sovereign nation of mankind and the Ekadoshi together. So now, with this truth, we understand the nations can't do anything for us. And the only thing that we're going to be able to, the only way we're going to be able to get through everything righteously is by depending on the Father and the support of the angels. That is the first declaration of truth. You see that? Short and sweet. So now, this is what we need to look for, and this is what we need to begin to focus on, relying on the assistance of the Ekadeshi, relying on the assistance of the angels. Let's go to number 2. And Matzah continued and said, remember, Matzah is Christ. And my second declaration of the truth is that speaking of myself, the presence of the man of element and the order of Melchizedek has the power to define the gift of life and the definitions they hold according to the second decree of creation. Now, in order to understand the second decree of creation, we're going to go to the book of remembrance of Melchizedek, to chapter 2, and we're going to take a look at verse number 95. And it says, the second decree of creation is that all the doings of creation and all the affairs of salvation must be done by man through the power of the intervention of their agency. So now what we understand about the second decree of creation is that it's up to us to use our free agency to follow the way of our Father. Now, let's go to Little Book chapter 3, verse 36. And it says, this second declaration by Matzah unsealed the truth that the purposes of our Father Anokasi in creation alone can bring human dignity and freedom for all peoples. And the Ekadeshi, that's the righteous angels, will turn in one accord to come to the aid of the righteous. So what's the second declaration? That the angels are going to come to the help of the righteous. Let's go to the third. And my third declaration of truth is that all people will now have the Father and God of their choosing. Let's get some more understanding. Little Book chapter 3, verse 43. This third declaration by Matzah unsealed the truth that his fulfilled vision is the only source of salvation and redemption, and the way to the peace of being in the arms of our Father Anokasi. So what's it saying here? That Christ, through his vision, we can now obtain salvation and redemption. This is the third declaration of truth. Number 4, this is the fourth vial that's being poured out, which is also the fourth declaration of truth, is that only those who diligently seek and find their visions of created purpose and embrace the delight of our Father Anokasi had to create them will have their eyes fully open to see the truth in tribulation times. Let's get some understanding. Little Book chapter 3, verse number 55. This fourth declaration of the truth unsealed the truth that the gift of life for man arises out of the vision for your perfect self, in the forgiveness emanating from Matzah, the Lamb, when he became for us in Shabuah. So now we understand that we are now forgiven from our sins when we ask for it. And my fifth declaration of the truth is that the signs of the limits of the tolerance of the powers of heaven concerning the four orders of creation are penetrating into the abodes of evil. But for the righteous, this voice of thunder spoke to them of their hope at last. So, this fifth declaration is speaking to us about our hope at last. And now, with the spirits of death being separated from the spirits of life, and the sounds of death cast out from among them, enabling the sounds of life to be magnified in their hope in Anoka seed will be magnified. So now our hope in our Father Anoka seed is going to be magnified. And they will be endowed with great power from on high to bless the God of heaven. Now let's go to Little Book chapter 3, verse number 63. And it says, in this declaration, and the sight of all these things opened up to mankind the true value of peace and loving kindness. Did you hear that? This declaration opens up to us the true value of peace and loving kindness. So eventually now we'll all begin to have peace with our neighbors and have loving kindness with our neighbors. And it says, and in this way, when it was too late, wholesome goodness will become known by those who cannot achieve it. And the evil ones repented not, nor would they turn aside from the pursuing of their evil ways. But for the righteous, this voice of thunder spoke to them of their hope at last. And now, with the spirit of death being separated from the spirits of life, and the sounds of death casting out among them, emanating the sounds of life. So now these things are being magnified to us. The sixth, and my sixth declaration of truth is that all the inhabitants of the fourth station of heaven are prepared and ready to be fully obedient to holy instructions from Gyara. And the Ekadeshi are poised and ready to fulfill all they are called upon by Michael to do in creation. So the little book, chapter 3, verse 76, it lets us know that the sixth declaration brought to all the righteous the truth that our Father Anokasi will cause his voice to be heard. Our Father Anokasi will cause his voice to be heard. And it cannot be diminished by evil. And the saints will find instruction from on high, and their loving Father will comfort them. But in the end, Lucifer will abandon his own, having led them to a place of emptiness and shame. And there will be a complete separation between the righteous and the wicked. The last, the seventh vow, or the seventh and last declaration of truth, is that only the voices of these joined with the holiness of the covenant will be heard in heaven or upon the earth. Little Book 3, verse 81. This seventh declaration will uncover the truth that Shabuah will be the glory of Anoka seed in his triumph as our Father. And all encompassing righteousness will flow out and spill over to cover the earth. Did you hear that? Let me read that again. And it says, the glory of Anoka in his triumph as our Father, and an all encompassing righteousness will flow out and spill over and cover the earth. And Shabuah will be the watchword of heaven. And the sweet sounds of life will issue forth from every dwelling place of the people of Anoka, leaving the lies and deceptions of the sons of darkness no remnant. Did you hear that? There will be no more lies, no more deceptions from the sons of remnant, from the sons of darkness. Verse 82. And all that which was sealed will be forevermore opened, and the truth will abound. And now the wicked will have lost their ability to determine the future course of the world. All praises to our Father. And the day of their dominion will end at last. You hear what's coming with the seven vow? The end of the dominion of the wicked will end at last and be brought to mind no more. Not even going to think about them. And Babylon the Great of the nations is fallen and is no more. And her smoke will rise up and dissipate, leaving no inheritance for those who dwell in her. Now we have the understanding of the seven declarations or the seven vials that are poured out upon the earth. All right, family, I pray that you are able to receive this message. And I pray that you were able to go through all four, or should I say all seven of these vows, and then made it to this final to understand the truth. So, family, we've learned a lot during this here lesson. Now it's important that we just continue to study, continue to pray, and be prepared so that you are ready to do the Father's work. Love you, family. Talk to you soon. Shalom.
Please click the like button and subscribe because we are trying to get our people back to the kingdom. Set me free. Set me free. Making a way for me. My life is falling for the streets, and as long as the Lord is on my side, I could never be defeated. So I tell the devil, leave me alone. Now if you think he gon' manipulate my mind, he got the wrong guy. Think I'm gon' get caught up in his trash, we can gon' try. Never fall victim again, not by a long shot. Yeah, see, victory is for sure for me. I resist temptation, living for Christ is my priority. Obeying his commandments, walking righteous, showing loyalty. And I'm asking for forgiveness as I speak, if there's a flaw. Yeah. And I know there's flaws in me, so I'm asking for forgiveness as I speak for all the flaws in me. Bound in chains, you set me free. You set me free. Making a way for me. My life is bound in chains.
Shalom. Shalom, family.